Welcome to the third podcast for Support Services Direct. This is the prequel to the launch of the book, also called Visualising Transformation. Visualising Transformation brings together two quite different processes, both labelled at the moment as systems thinking. The first should be applied to closed systems to reduce variation and improve productivity, while the second should be applied to strategic development or the development of local strategic partnerships, for instance. This end-to-end integration of strategy to operations, using internal holistic working to external partnering, will enable major step change in a controlled, efficient, effective manner. This is a conscious integration of systems, and it is believed to be the first of its kind. Visualising Transformation will enable the achievement of service improvement, cost savings, and deliver renewed corporate strategies. Support Services Direct have been at the forefront of systems thinking for many years. Visualising Transformation represents the next step forward, adding even more value. This builds on the concepts of Deming, Ono and Seddon, integrating some ideas from Checkland and Busan. This embraces modern IT-based data modelling to help step transform organisations beyond expectation in only a few months. This podcast will be supported by a PowerPoint presentation to enable better quality of graphics to be seen. These are both in advance of a far more detailed book of the same name, which will be published early in 2010.
All graphs and data are real information from previous projects. Case studies provide more information, all of which can be found on our website. The core of Visualising Transformation lies within the core principles formed by Deming: study, act, plan, do, the 14 points of management, and profound knowledge. The study, act elements are subsumed into check, enabling consultants to find out where an organisation is and wants to be. Before starting to design a new way of working, check and plan have core dependencies on training, talented people who work in groups led via workshops. The final phase in each part is to appraise. Appraise in this context is considered the strategic outcomes the authority or organisation would like to achieve, and the business opportunities that could be addressed rather than simply harvesting cost savings. The appraise approach has led to a 3-to-1 ratio of improvement financially compared to simply redesigning our capacity. It has also enabled step change in secondary aspirations such as environmental improvement.
The intervention methodology is, as we said, based on check, plan, do. So we start with check. Unlike other approaches within the systems thinking brand, Visualising Transformation focuses very strongly on the host ethos. This takes into consideration project management styles, governance, risk, data presentation, inter-office politics, aspirations and constraints. The initial briefing within check will inform the design of the intervention. If it's a repetitive process which will benefit from reducing variation, then one set of methods will be employed. However, where a wide integration, for instance for a local strategic partnership, is sought, softer systems which embrace variation will be more needed. Either way, check, plan, appraise, do will work. A project brief will be confirmed at this point. If the host requires it, this can take the form of a project initiation document or PID, together with a simple project plan. This starts the second stage within check of forming and training the transformation team. At this stage, agree with the sponsor forward dates for key decisions. Never assume that common sense will prevail. Common sense is not that common.
Rigorous training is very important. Deming's 13th point was to institute a vigorous programme of education and self-improvement. The transformation team should be a wide cross-section of all parties involved, or impacting on the end-to-end service. All team members should attend a 3-day introduction course ran by Prism Consulting. While these courses are being arranged, the core intervention team will gather data, analyse and validate that data, discuss with people in the work how they work, and seek to develop an array of clean data. As-is workshops are used to bring the whole transformation team up to speed, to agree where they are currently. This will be led by a facilitator, most likely guided by a PowerPoint plan with a series of breakout sessions to analyse issues and later map out the process. The core team will support by recording issues, barriers, and facilitating breakout groups. The likely way of addressing these issues are via cause and effect, high-level flow, detailed flow, Pareto, run charts, bell charting, GIS, and age data. The key features of the first workshop is to create more understanding in a non-defensive environment. Breakout groups can then further analyse their own subroutines or inputs to the system. Data will be more intensely reviewed to create a better awareness. Communications will be maintained throughout this work prior to the final as-is workshop being ran to agree the current processes, performances and variation. At the end of this, an appraise wash will be added.
Appraise will look at the original brief. What are the prime areas to focus on? Customer care, response times, failure demand, cash flow, environmental improvement, backlog eradication. Then the actual business will be considered. How to reduce costs from suppliers or how to increase income from materials sold, services carried out, haulage, or even from tasks to achieve in the future. It's amazing how many good ideas will come from a cross-functional team who have been inspired to think and talk freely. All flows, options, performances and information are completed visually, agreed and signed up to now. Some of these diversification plans should be quickly walked through to see what they may possibly be worth. The flowcharts will have non-value and value enabling work shown in red and pink to show just how much work done adds no value to the customers. A report and a PowerPoint presentation is now drafted for the sponsor and review board. This report and presentation need to be reviewed by the sponsor, aligned to corporate style, and then presented to the review board. This should be a learning experience for the review board. They should pick up positive energy, many positive actions, opportunities or capacity options, and a sense of involvement. If acceptable, some members of the transformation team should take part in the presentation.
The launch of Plan starts with a 2B workshop. Again, the facilitator and the care team will be well prepared. The first part of the day being to agree where we were at the end of as is. The use of a garage industry approach with blue sky thinking being applied is very useful, where garage industry is based on the concept of a small firm planning to do the work with the least cost and maximum impact with unrestrained methods. A high-level flowchart is to be quickly achieved in a very lumpy way using post-its as before. Now details and swim lanes are added again in a non-confrontational manner, addressing only what's best for the customer. The core team should have roughed out some solutions. If different discussions could ensue, perhaps a work simulation could be devised. For instance, a refuse collection game worked very well indeed. Once the broad 2B plan is designed, question and test it. Should B always happen before D? Are there too many handoffs between departments or people? Could a common database enable some parts to go entirely? Consider a spaghetti diagram. Colour cells for non-value and value enabling. Is it more effective? Can you simulate the new workflow?
Once the core service is designed, now start rigorous questioning for probity, risk, diversity, equalities, IT support. How will the key performance indicators and national indicators be measured and monitored? If these aspects are built into the core system, they should naturally happen as part of the work, not have to be addressed as subroutines after the work is carried out. In addition, consider why failures occur. Analyse the data. Could it be due to previous poor training, IT use errors, agency staff, or other exceptional work types? This will enable two parallel designs to occur. The first, to make the core methods far more efficient and effective. The second, to reduce or eradicate the causes of failure demand. Outside of the main workshop, a series of breakout groups will again work on their parts, supported and guided by the core team. Systems and subsystems will be designed and tested. Far deeper, more meaningful information will be generated. Useful real-time management information will start. Trial runs of the new systems can now start in a controlled way, so as to measure and monitor everything. Opportunities to improve will still come forward and be used wherever possible. The core team should meet with the sponsor every week using positive feedback, the risk register and an evolving benefits analysis plus emerging pipeline works to help maintain momentum and support. The final stage of plan should start with a workshop to showcase the new designs and to show the impact which has already occurred. Again, the appraise aspect will be considered in parallel to the redesign work. Failure modes shall have informed new service areas to be addressed. All these options should now be fully discussed with the wider group. Typically, the value-added aspects through appraise add a 3-to-1 benefits realisation to the overall plan. Therefore, the host could choose between a $300,000 a year saving or $900,000 a year. Not usually a difficult choice. The final designs will now all be drawn up, drafted in a corporate style with work plans, cash flow and critical path analysis. The report will make maximum use of graphs and projections. The savings via traditional capacity reduction should precede the savings possible with value added. Financial and performance data should be stunningly obvious. Approval should be gained to enable the do phase.
Addressing do, or the implementation phase, is traditionally the weakest area of change. Strategists devise plans that are operationally weak, or the two teams can't fully understand each other. Here we have a plan that was designed by operations, signed off by the staff, union and support teams. They will be eager to get started. The detailed plans which have already been tested will start to roll out quickly and effectively. Staged processes where new IT is needed for Phase 2 will be understood by all. There will be improvements to service delivery during check and plan. A step improvement is likely from day one of the new service. Capacity will increase in most areas straight away, enabling value-adding work to accelerate forward, creating a range of better services for customers and further step improvements in overall costs. Visualising Transformation will help bring the whole council together, adding value, not simply cutting costs. It can also be used to overcome complex issues, addressing conflicting pressures across neighbourhoods involving many customer groups and service providers. Please also refer to the PowerPoint presentation of the same name on the SSD website.